It's me, Renee. I'm back. And I'm here, as you can see, to do the New Year's book tag. It's a bit different from the book tag we did last week. That was the Booktuber New Year book tag. This is the New Year's book tag. This was created back in 2018 by, I'm blanking out, Books and, not Books and Quills, Books and, I'm blanking out, but I can think of, you know what, I think it's just there. Give me a little moment. Created by Bookables. Header over Bookables. So yeah, here I am doing this tag as well, because why not? So the first prompt is, how many books do you plan to read this year? I I actually have a goal of 185 books. I've already read 11 books, I want to say. No, actually 12 books. Yeah, 12 books. I suppose that sounds like, oh, how can you read so many books in 17 days? Well, a lot of them were Sherlock Holmes stories. A lot of them were shorter stories for like 1 hour. Like I listened to them audiobooks. And I was sick last week, so I listened to a lot of them last week. So yeah, I did 10 of them as Sherlock Holmes, and then I've read a few more books. So yeah, I've read 11 books as of right now. So right now, I'm missing 175 books of the year, which I think is gonna be manageable. Now, I suppose you might think like 175 books, isn't that quite a lot for like a whole year? Well, I read quite a lot, and I do quite a lot of shorter reads. I sometimes do comic books. I sometimes do short audiobooks. So yeah, 185. I think it seems manageable enough. Also, it's for a whole year. I do some I do reading sprints. I do readathons for like for 24 hours or 48 hours. So yeah, I read quite a lot. So yeah, I think it's gonna be quite manageable. That really. Give me a moment. And then we have the next prompt. Sorry. Name 5 books you didn't get to last year that you want to. So here we have I told you this already? Stories I Don't Want to Forget to Remember by Lauren Graham. It's another essay collection that came out last year. I was very excited to get to it, so very happy when I found out that she's writing another essay collection. And that it was coming out last year. I have not read it yet, but I really much want to. And I kind of had like thinking I might read it last year. Didn't happen. Lots of books to read. But yeah, definitely gonna read it this year. And then we have A Little History of Archaeology by Brian Fagan. I got this 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago actually, for my birthday. Started reading it last year, but yeah, I haven't read much in it, and I definitely want to read more in it. Then we have Ink, Iron and Glass by Gwendolyn Clare. This is the first duology, I want to say. I got it for Christmas 4 years ago now. I want to say maybe 3 years ago, quite a lot of years ago. So it's been on my TBR for a while now. But yeah, I very much want to read it. Then we have Venetia by Georgette Hare. I got this another Georgette Hare book last year. Haven't read either of them yet, but heard lots of good things about this author. So yeah, want to get to it. And then we have Steelheart by Brandon Sanderson, the first in a superhero series he has written. And yeah, I want to read Brandon Sanderson books. I've read one of them last year. I read The Evil Library of Alcatraz, but I want to read more. So yeah, this one is a book I own, so a good place to start. So yeah. Then give me a moment. Give me a moment. What genre do you want to read more of? At this point, I kind of feel like I am reading all the genres I want to read, but at the same time, I have a few exceptions, I suppose. I kind of want to I want to read a bit more science fiction. I read it now and then, but don't read it often because so often, like to me, science fiction kind of works better as a TV series than like books because like in books form they often seem so complicated and stuff. But I suppose you have softer science fiction, so you can avoid that. But yeah, I suppose I just kind of tend to gear towards fantasy. But there are some science fiction books I heard about out there I kind of want to read. So yeah, so I would say science fiction really. And then this is not a genre; it's more like a type of books. But I want to read more non-fiction books because yeah, I don't really count non-fiction as a genre. Like you can have non-fiction that's biography, you have non-fiction that's about a sport, about history. I mean, there's lots of different genres within science fiction, sorry, non-fiction, and yeah. But I just kind of want to read more of that in general. I hear about often about a lot of non-fiction books that sounds good, and then I just kind of don't prioritize them. So yeah, definitely want to read more of those. So yeah, I suppose that's kind of the two I want to read more of. One of them being a genre, one of them being a type book, I would say. Sorry. And name three non-bookish goals for this year. So yeah, I did one of these like ish videos last week, so it's gonna go and be repeating from last week. But yeah, I want to go karaoke. I've gone karaoke in the past, but I'm really doing like regularly. And there's a bar in town that I know that does karaoke each week, and I kind of want to do that. I kind of want to do that. I want to do that. I also want to make more food. I like making food, but like living on my own, I just kind of tend not to make food so much. But yeah, I do have some cookbooks, and I do know that food doesn't have to like be something you do for many hours. It can be fun, and you can like do it for 1 hour or 2 hours and still be delicious food. So yeah, I want to make more food. So yeah, those two. And lately, I'm kind of thinking a bit. I kind of want to try role playing. Like I know it as a concept. I actually tried to do it some years ago, and then just didn't happen because of life. But I kind of want to try to find a little role playing team league or some people to role play with. I think that could be fun. So yeah, I suppose there you have it. Three goals for this year. That's unbooklet it. Give me a moment. And then we have what's a book that you have had forever on your TBR and haven't read yet? So here I'm going to go with The Library of the Unwritten by A.J. Hackwood. Came out, I believe, 2 years ago now. 1 year? No, 2 years ago. Let's double check. Came out in 2020. So yeah, well, actually, no, 3 years ago now. And I just love the concept of this book because it's all about books that haven't been finished and how they're all stored in a library in hell. For some reason, it's weird they're in hell, not in heaven. I suppose hell because they haven't been finished, so they're hellish. I don't know. And yeah, it's kind of like based around that. I don't quite know all the like, shingamadings about this book, but like just the hook of like there being a place where all the books that aren't finished are stored, and then the main character is Claire, who's a librarian who takes care of all these books. It just sounds so cool. And yeah, I don't really know. I haven't read it yet. I just haven't. So yeah, quite really want to read this one book. Then let me see. What is the last prompt? The last prompt is one word describing 2023. Well, I'm not quite sure if this is meant to like be the book year 2023 or like that, like just the year. I suppose I could just say like be optimistic and say like opportunity because I mean every year it's kind of like the opportunities are there for you. It's just that you have to reach out to get them. I mean, also I kind of feel like in a way like unread books are kind of like or books in general are kind of opportunities to escape, to have fun, to learn about something new, and to go into a whole different world for 400, 300, or 500 pages, and yeah, kind of like big opportunities kind of in front of you. And yeah, opportunity, I feel like it's a good way to say it. And then the next prompt is simply tag people. It's this is a tag it's been around for quite a few years. So I suppose it's a tag you can do every year. I'm not quite sure who's done it and who hasn't yet. So I suppose I'll do as I normally do. Really, I tag you. So you saying this, if you want to do it. I suppose also like if you don't have a book to tell but you don't want to answer some of these questions, you can do that in the comments. And yeah, I hope you have had a nice 17 first days of this year. And I'll see you tomorrow. And bye.